Hello everyone, it's DiegoDoom here. Today I'm bringing you another review. Today I'll be reviewing S.H.MonsterArts Destoroyah Special Color version. This final form of Destoroyah comes from the 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. At this point, we should all know the history of the film. If not, check out my S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla vs. Destoroyah playlist by clicking on the link on screen right now. This particular release is the new special color version featuring new paint apps, some extra accessories, and a great opportunity for collectors to finally pick up their very own Destoroyah if they missed the first release. Be sure to check out the 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. It is absolutely fantastic. S.H.MonsterArts Destoroyah Special Color version is another fantastic release in the S.H.MonsterArts line. Destoroyah has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, nice accessories, and a great range of articulation. Let's jump right into it and take a look at Destoroyah himself. Destoroyah has a great range of articulation. First, let's start with the head. We can look up, down, left, right. The head can swivel. The mouth can open up a decent amount. The shoulders have a great range of rotation. We can move these in and out, and also we can possibly rotate these a full 360 degrees. The only hindrance are the wings. Speaking of the wings, if we come to the top of the shoulder, we have the main primary large wing here. So at the base, we can actually tilt this forward and backwards, side to side, because it's on a ball joint. Once we get to the upper portion of the wing, it's also on a ball joint. We can tilt this up and also swivel this some, which is pretty cool. Now, something to note, just like with the original figure, these wing segments can be a bit of a pain to align properly. Just remember, each wing piece tends to slot into the other one. These pieces are all connected via ball joints, so there are some cases you might have to carefully and slightly rotate these around to make them line up correctly, and you should have a nice, full, free-flowing wing. The secondary wings are also on ball joints, so they can swivel pretty freely, which is very cool. Moving on to the arms, we have a bicep swivel. We have a nice bend in the elbows. The hands are on ball joints, so we can tilt and spin these freely. We can open up the claws pretty wide. In the upper torso, there is barely any movement at all, so really can't do too much here in the waist. Moving on to the legs, we can kick forward this much, backward this much, and come out to the side this much. We have a slight bend in the knees. The feet can tilt and swivel. Now, when you swivel the feet, you'll notice this causes the entire shin to move, which is very nice. Spin around to the back. We have Destoroyah's fairly long tail. It's comprised of several different ball joints, so it's very posable and definitely very cool. And at the very end, we have Destoroyah's pincer tail tip, and these are actually on very small, tiny ball joints, but it does feel delicate, so please be extra careful. When it comes to sculpt and paint apps, Destoroyah is absolutely fantastic. Starting from the top, we have Destoroyah's horn. The horn has a sharp and textured sculpt with a vibrant bone yellow paint app. Moving down, we have Destoroyah's demonic head sculpt. The head sculpt has a very nicely textured and detailed hard-shelled sculpt. The head has a nice weathered dark crimson paint app. This fantastic dark crimson hard-shelled sculpt can be seen throughout the body. As we come down from the horn, we can see Destoroyah's angled brow adding to his sinister look. Destoroyah's eyes this time around have a very nice vibrant yellow paint app, which is more in line with the film. Now, something I noticed on my figure, it does look like Destoroyah has some Forrest Whitaker action going on. Moving down, we have Destoroyah's mouth. On the outside of the mouth, we have the nicely detailed and textured mandible spikes with a bone paint app. We have multiple rows of teeth protruding from every angle coming out of the mouth and even protruding through the snout. The teeth have a nice sharp sculpt with a bone paint app. The inner mouth is nicely detailed with a very cool flesh tone paint app. Moving down, we have the shoulders. The shoulders have a very nicely detailed sharp, hard-shelled sculpt with various cracks that look fantastic. The tops of the spikes have a lighter crimson paint app, while the body of the shoulders has a dark weathered crimson paint app. Moving out from the shoulders, we have the large bat-like wings. We can see the hard-shelled sculpt continues across the top of the wings and down the wing digits. The inner webbing of the wings are nicely detailed with a weathered crimson paint app. The secondary wings have the same fantastic sculpt and paint apps as the larger wings, just on a smaller scale. Moving down, we have Destroyer's unique chest sculpt. The unique floral structure in the center of the chest has a nice, dirty, weathered, gradiated amber paint app. The arms are nicely detailed and textured. The claws have a very nice, large, sharp sculpt with a bone paint app. Moving down, we have Destroyer's massive legs. We can see the various separations of the shell plates around the thighs. Going around the knees and thighs, we have the leg spikes that share the same fantastic sharp sculpt and paint apps as the claws. Destroyer's feet are massive with even more spikes on the ankles, large spiked toenails, and heel spurs. Spin around to the back, we can see the various overlapping plates that make up Destroyer's back. Finally, as we come down, we have Destroyer's long tail comprised of many more overlapping spiked plates with a weathered dark crimson paint app. At the very end of the tail, we have Destroyer's signature serrated pincer with a nice sharp sculpt and a weathered dark crimson paint app. As a whole, Destroyah Special Color version turned out to be fantastic. The articulation is great, the sculpted paint apps are fantastic, and the new paint apps really make this figure look awesome. I love how this figure is much more in line with what we saw in the film, which is definitely very cool. Like I say with most of these S.H.MonsterArts repaints, I feel this is the figure we should have gotten in the first place. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. Destroyah comes with 4 tanks and 4 Mazer tanks. Now if you're an avid S.H.MonsterArts collector, then you'll notice these are the same vehicles that came with our S.H.MonsterArts Toho Special Weapon Set 2 release. Since we've seen these before, I'll be brief with these. First, let's start with the tank. The tank has a very nicely detailed sculpt. As you can see, we have the various panel lines, tank treads, and then we have our turret here at the top with metallic silver tips. Also, this gun turret can actually rotate. The tank as a whole has a very nice military green paint app. For the Mazer cannon, the sculpt is just as nice. As you can see, we have the main turret here. Then we have a translucent and metallic silver tip for the Mazer cannon. We have a nice amount of detail going on for the wheels and the front portion. And just like with our normal tank, the Mazer cannon here can actually swivel, which is pretty cool. Something you'll notice, the military vehicles that came with Destroyah Special Color version have a lighter paint app than the original release, which is pretty interesting there. Now, with our military vehicles in place, G-Force can come together and set up to take down Destroyah. Now that we have the accessories out of the way, let's go ahead and compare our Special Color version Destroyah with our original Destroyah and then do some size comparisons. To conclude the review, S.H.MonsterArts Destoroyah Special Color version is another fantastic release in the S.H.MonsterArts line. Destoroyah has a fantastic sculpt, fantastic paint applications, nice accessories, and a great range of articulation. This figure is definitely very nice, very neat, and very cool. I absolutely recommend picking this figure up. Be sure to check out the 1995 film Godzilla vs. Destoroyah. It is absolutely fantastic. This has been another review by DiegoDoom. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for more figure reviews. To see the unboxing of this figure or more S.H.MonsterArts reviews, click the links on screen. Be sure to like the Facebook fan page, add me on Gemr, follow me on Instagram, and follow me on Twitter. Like, comment, and subscribe.